Well, howdy me howdy, I am the Damn Cat, and I welcome you to the next round of GTRC's Hyundai Elantra Trophy. This is round 5, and it took place yesterday on the 4th of July. It was a fun time, and yeah, so instead of just sitting here talking about it, let's just go ahead and get into it. But before we do that, like always, quick reminder as to how this series goes. This is the calendar. Round 5, Dragon Tree Gardens. Due to some timing screw ups, we had to push this round back, and so the dates are now incorrect. This is at Dragon Tree Gardens for round 5. Each round consists of two 20-minute races. The first is preceded by a 2-lap qualifier. So basically, we do this in practice mode. We have our out lap and 2 flying laps. That is 2 opportunities to set our qualifying time. The second race is reverse grid based on the results of the first race, and on tracks where it's possible to do so, we will also reverse the direction of the track. Tower is set to 1, 3, and fuel rate is set to 3x. This means that for every lap raced, there is 1 lap's worth of tire wear and 3 laps worth of fuel consumption. We are running on racing mediums, and the weather is random. So on tracks where it can rain, well, that means rain is a possibility and a potential factor. And just to be clear, we are all running in the Group 4 Hyundai Elantra that was introduced 2 major updates back. Coming into this round, we have Maple Syrup, or Ishmael, as he's also referred to as. He has a commanding lead with 150 points. Superboy is second place with 108. Hair Racer is in third with 94. Doug Barrow is in fourth with 82. Barr is in fifth with 75. The Damn Cat and Tap are tied for sixth at 67 apiece. Mike is right behind at 64. Petrol at 62. Type R at 48. UU at 27. Eagle at 24. And ATB, the last participant, with points at 19. So we did our qualifying times, and we see that for this round, the first race, Tap took pole. Petrol came in second. Doug is starting in third. Superboy is starting in fourth. Razor starting in fifth. Damn Cat's starting in sixth. And Type R starting in the rear. In 7th place. Without further ado, let's actually swap over to the live screen. The lights are red, waiting on them to go green. We've gone green, and away we go. Start looks like the Damn Cat here in the very rear got to a bad start, and we see Petrol has already also got a really good launch, and he has already made his way to the lead here. Tap's holding the second. Doug is in third. Superboy is in fourth. Razor's in fifth. Type R has moved up into sixth, and the Damn Cat is bringing up the rear in seventh. So far, so good. We're keeping it nice and clean. Like we got a little bit of jostling here and there, but for the most part, we've single filed ourselves at this point, just trying to survive lap 1. So it takes a deep cut of the hairpin, while Petrol, he went wide. In fact, he went so wide he picked up a half-second penalty. That is unfortunate, because that will allow Tap to take the lead if he can stay close. Coming to this interesting set of corners here. It's possible to take these technically 1, 2, 3, 4 corners as one, but you have to get set up just right, and you have to pull it off. And like we said, Tap took the lead back with Petrol serving his penalty, but Petrol is not gonna just not gonna sit back and take it. And we see Doug is trying to fight him here, trying to get second from Petrol, but for the time being, Petrol's got the lead. Especially got the better of Doug, rather using Taps in the lead. So far, everyone's still staying close. Going through the chicane. It's like everyone's going through nice and clean. Tap's still got a good lead. It's gonna be about just like Doug. And something happened to Petrol because Petrol is falling pretty far back here. He dropped two positions on that straight. He may have just gone wide at some point. Now Petrol is trying to close the door off of Air Razor, trying to avoid falling any further back from whatever happened before. And Tap's already trying to build up a nice little lead here. He's starting to run away from everyone else. Got Doug here in second, Superboy right behind him in third. Petrol is currently sitting in fourth. We have Air Razor still sitting in fifth. Type R in sixth, and the Damn Cat is bringing up the rear in seventh. Everyone is still very close together. However, not a whole lot really going on early on. I think we've settled in for the time being. Superboy took an interesting little line. He kind of got out of Doug's slipstream, which is going to cause him to stay where he's at rather than potentially gain on Doug. Boy, I wish the camera angle was better through here. Everybody hopping over that curb. Felt like the Damn Cat actually straddled the curb there, so hopping over it. Well done. But Tap is in the front. We see headlights coming on. Tap's headlights are on anyway. Got Super right behind him. This looks to be maybe the closest thing to a battle, even though we're all still very close at this point. The only real big gap here is between Tap and Doug, and even that's not that big of a gap. It might be a second and a half at this point. 2 seconds at most. That goes a little wide there. Now you see more headlights are on. And I should mention it can rain here, so rain may be a factor. Right now we are seeing it's cloudy. Headlights are on, which means visibility is kind of down. Usually happens when it's, especially with it being late afternoon, that means it's pretty cloudy. It's getting dark. The cloud cover is really coming in now. That if it rains, that might be what we need to spice things up here. So we're 5 minutes in. Tap is trying to pull away here from Doug. He's got pretty much 4 cars right back to back behind him. And then there's a small gap between Air Razor to Type R, who's got a half-second penalty and is under attack by the Damn Cat here. The Damn Cat gets a little later on the braking. He's trying to go around the outside, but it looks like Type R puts up a solid enough defense, keeps him behind. Come back to the front. We see some windshield wipers going here on Tap. Doug's got his going. Everybody's got some windshield wipers going. That means the rain is coming down. Or at least we got a little bit of a drizzle, at least. Oh, nope, we can see that rain coming down. Skipping a jump over that corner. And let's see, does anyone think it's enough to pit? Like cars being very ginger coming into breaking into this final corner. Let's see who's going. Tab staying out. Doug staying out. Super thinks it's Cinder's weather. Looks think it's tire changing weather. As this Razor, the MCAT passes, stays opposite stay out, and Type R goes in. So we have 3 people going into the pits, 4 choosing to brave it, and I think Doug Barrow is regretting that decision with that excursion off the track. You saw there, he's sliding against the wall. He falls to 3rd place, and he just falls even more off. He's got the damn cat coming up behind him. We got Superboy first out of the pits of the 3, and he is making quick ground compared to the cars ahead of him. He's got Hair Razor right behind him, and Type R not too far behind. We have Taps crawling into the hairpin here. Petrol not too far behind him. Also crawling through the hairpin. We have Doug and the damn cat. Damn cat actually got ahead of Doug, but the damn cat goes wide. So Doug retains position ahead of the damn cat. He's got Razor around him, and then we think we're going to see the Hair Razor just zip on by on the enters. At least I think he's on enters. I don't think anyone's crazy enough to go in heavyweight, so I think everyone's just gone into the intermediate tires. We have Tab sliding around these corners, having opted to brave the wet weather on slicks. Super is now moved into 2nd. Air Razor's up to 3rd. Petrol's dropped down to 4th. Doug is being accosted by Type R, who gets around him in 5th. And the damn cat bringing up the rear. Tap's still holding on to the lead for the time being. He's got Super charging behind him, though. Super on those enters should have superior grip. I don't think there's going to be much Tap's going to be able to do to keep him behind. Super is just taking his all, the slipstream he can. And into the lead goes the gray Elantra of Superboy. Tap here in that nice teal blue livery. He's got Hair Razor right behind him. Basically kind of a rolling roadblock at the moment. Should have better traction at this point. We see the lights have turned off on the cars. The windshield wipers have stopped, so it's no longer raining. So that shower was short-lived. Already we're seeing Tap is actually able to sort of accelerate with these guys. We have Type R here in 4th. Petrol is down to 5th. Doug in 6th. The damn cat in 7th. Track's still largely wet, so you see Tap kind of slipping back here a little bit, but already he's starting to find traction. I mean, the track is already starting to dry out a little bit. Or is there still some places where there's moisture? But for the most part, everyone's starting to grip up. Even the guys in the back who stayed on slicks. Right now, halfway through, Superboy is holding the lead. We have Hair Razor in 2nd, Tap is in 3rd. Then a good ways back, we see Type R in 4th. He's got Petrol not too far behind him. Doug is not too far behind Petrol, and the damn cat is staying close here in 7th, bringing up the rear. Coming into the chicane, we see Superboy's got Hair Razor right behind him. Air Razor looks to have gotten a better run out of the chicane, so Air Razor's looking to make a charge. Looks like makes a move up the inside, thinks better of it, tucks in behind, and just makes a tight line through the hairpin. Superboy looks to have been able to keep enough speed, taking that wide line around to hold on to the lead. This is the closest thing to a battle at the moment. We see Air Razor and Superboy can get out for the lead. And we see Tap is not far behind these two. And he is gaining. Tap looks to actually be gaining a little bit on them. And we're not seeing much wheel spray coming off the tires for the most part, especially on the main racing line. Now we're seeing Tap trying to make a move on the outside of these two. So at least for the lead, it looks like the gamble to stay on slicks may have paid off. Yeah, we see Tap just basically out dragging Hair Razor, and they both seem to have initially outdragged Superboy. And we see Type R is pulling into the pits. He's realized the gamble to be on the inters did not pay off, for him at least. We have these two who swapped with the inters though. Superboy and Hair Razor have both lost to positions each to Tap here, who's stayed on the slicks when it rained. And he has managed to get around both of these now that the track is dried out. And Hair Razor goes kind of deep through there, and enables Superboy to get a better exit, but Hair Razor's able to keep Superboy behind him for the time being. Every time Super goes on that curve like that, I swear he's flirting with disaster. It's an easy way to spin if you're not careful. Alright, coming around that set of corners. Well, I need to come up with a name for it. But out of the way for the moment. Air Razor, for the time being, has seemed to have gotten away from Superboy a little bit. There's a small gap at least. And these two are going another round on these enders. On this pretty much dry track at this point. We have Petrol here in 4th. He's got Doug right behind him. The Damn Cat is lurking here in 6th. And Type R is back here in 7th. Having already gotten back onto the slicks himself. He's got a long way to go. And not a whole lot of time to get there. You know, Tap's already pulled a very large gap over Hair Razor here in 2nd, who's got about a second over Superboy at the moment. We have Petrol and Doug both reeling these two on the enters ahead of them. It looks like Petrol and Doug are both closing in rapidly on him. And Damn Cat he's right there as well. He's stuck close to this group the entire time. Type R unfortunately has on and off, but that's just because he's had his 2 pit stops. And now he's just got to try to catch up to these guys on older tires. He just doesn't have a lot of time to do it. Tap's currently got a pretty big lead for this stage of the race. Yeah, Hair Razor here in 2nd, Superboy in 3rd, Petrol in 4th, Doug is in 5th, and looks like Petrol is more or less caught up to Superboy here. Superboy is yielding. He's going into the pits. He's realized, I think, that staying on the enters may be an exercise in futility. At least in his opinion. Either way, he has opted to pit to get off of the enters and back onto the racing slicks. So far, Tap is the big winner here of the gamble on staying out on slicks in the wet. Massive lead to second place Hair Razor. We have Petrol here in third. Doug Barrow is in fourth. The Damn Cat is right here in fifth, and he just picked up a half-second penalty. That is unfortunate. We have Superboy here in sixth, having just came out on fresh pair of slicks, and Type R is not too far behind him. So Type R's got someone to watch. Hopefully he can keep up with Superboy, and that will enable him to potentially catch up to these guys on older tires ahead of him. But at this point, I don't think anyone's catching Tap. That is a huge gap, and we see Doug and Hair Razor going at it. It's like both Petrol and Doug got around Hair Razor cleanly. Hair Razor on the intermediates is falling victim to two more cars on that stayed on slicks. There's just one more car behind him that stayed out on slicks. He's got 2.5 minutes to hold off the Damn Cat. Question is, can it be done? Can he do it? We have Superboys here in sixth and Type R's here in seventh. Tap's got a massive lead over second place Petrol, who has got Doug Barrow right behind him. These two are pretty close to each other at the moment. I think Petrol might have got the better exit out of that chicane. Coming to the hairpin. Can Doug catch up to him on the braking? Looks like he did, but looks like Petrol might have got the slightly better exit there. And we see Hair Razor's about to have to really start trying to fend off the Damn Cat behind him. Question is, can you do it? Hair Razor's taking a nice defensive line. Damn Cat is just shooting around the outside, and the superior grip of the slick tires over the intermediates and dry. This seems to me that too tall of a task for Hair Razor to hold on to fourth, and that enables the Damn Cat to move into fourth. Hair Razor can try to respond here, does he? I think the lights in the intermediates are just not gripping up enough. Already pretty big gap there. And we have Superboy closing in on Hair Razor. A lot closer than he was earlier, that's for sure. And we have Type R here in seventh, bringing up the rear. We have Tap all by his lonesome. Massive gap. Here's the battle. This is where the battle is at this point. Doug is trying to make a move on Petrol here, coming into the hairpin. Who gets the better line through. This is the final lap. Doug at the moment has the edge. A little bit of rubbing between the two there, coming into this set of corners here. Oh, this is the set of corners that it was. Doug goes wide. That might let Petrol get the run on him on the outside. That means Petrol's got to make the run on the outside. Petrol had basically no room to go there. No margin of error. You see, Tap is going to come across the line in first place. Is it going to be Doug or is it going to be Petrol who is going to now drag away race to the finish line here? Petrol gets the better exit. Is it enough? It is not enough. Doug manages to hold on to second, Petrol in third. The Damn Cat finishes the race 1 and 4th. Air Razor in the end finishes in 5th, Superboy in 6th, and Type R is breaking up the rear in 7th. That was fun, and we see Tap also holds the fastest lap of the race at a 1 minute 39.911. Doug Barrow finishes in 2nd place. Looks like just 51 hundredths of a second separate the two. Damn Cat was in 4th. Well, that's their fastest lap. Sorry, I was misreading that. Oh no. This is even closer than that. It is 6 thousandths of a second between Doug and Petrol there at the end. The Damn Cat was 4 seconds behind those two. Air Razor was another 6 back. Superboy was a 2nd back, I think, and a half back. With another lap, Super would have gotten around Air Razor, I think. And Type R brings up the rear. Alright, and then showing the starting order for the second race. Like I said, it's a reverse grid, so Type R is starting race 2 in 1st, Superboy in 2nd, Air Razor in 3rd, the Damn Cat in 4th, Petro starting in 5th, Doug Barrow in 6th, and Tap is starting in last, aiming for that last to first challenge. Can he do it? Let's find out, shall we? I'm an idiot. Sorry. There we go. Gotta have the race photo, gotta have the race info on. Alrighty, we see Petrol pushing a little bit wide there, kind of getting on through a quarter panel of Doug. And turn 1 is a cluster, and we see there's some contact. And the Damn Cat gets the short end of that stick. It's turn 1, it happens. Superboy takes advantage of all of that cluster, gets in the lead. We have Doug in 2nd, Air Razor in 3rd, Petro's in 4th, barging his way up into 3rd. Bargy, away we go in lap 1. And we see the Damn Cat hopping and skipping over curbs, just making his life worse for this race. Already off to a bad start, that red, white, and blue Elantra is. Alright, coming back to the front, we see Super's got a decent sized gap over Doug Barrow, who's already made his way to 2nd. Air Razor's up to 3rd. Petro's in 4th, looking to take 3rd from Air Razor. If he's got the exit, he's got 3rd over Razor, but we're not sure about that. We see Tap lets the Damn Cat by. Simon does a good show of sportsmanship. Tap, I believe, thinks that he may have caused that kerfluffle, so it gives the position back to the Damn Cat. So that is good sportsmanship, something we like to see here in the GTRC. Coming back into 1st, coming back to the front. There's a gap here between 1st and 2nd. Petrol has made his way to 3rd around Air Razor. Air Razor has got to respond here if he can. We see Type R has already fallen back to 5th. And we see Doug has actually closed up on Superboy here. Kind of caught the glimpse of that. Goes a little wide there. Petrol goes very wide there. Almost tips the wall. We see the Damn Cat trying to fend off Tap here, but I think Tap got the better run out of turn 1 and into this set of corners. Tap Cat, I think, just backs out there just to go ahead and to try to tuck it behind Tap. Follow the drive the faster car through. Maybe try to take his line and take advantage of that. Back to the front we go. We have Superboy here in the lead. He's got Doug not too far behind. Petrol's gotten a small gap built over Air Razor. And this is about to become a 3-way battle for 5th here between Type R, Tap, and the Damn Cat. We'll have to keep an eye on this as well. But right now, we see Superboy is under attack from Doug Barrow. Already on lap 2, Doug is not taking his time to get to the front here. Going through the chicane, going into the final sweeping corner. Does Doug get the better exit? Superboy took a wider outside line that should enable him to have a faster exit, but Doug Barrow has the slipstream. He's making the move on the inside, holding Superboy to the outside. Superboy is probably going to try it over under here. It does not work. Doug closes that off. Doug has now moved into the lead. See, does Superboy respond? That is the question at this time. At the moment, no. It looks like Doug is slowly pulling away already from Superboy. Right now we're seeing not a lot there. Doug is pulling away. Petrol's trying to close in. We have Hair Razor trying to stay close. We see Tap has gotten around Type R. That leaves Type R and then Cat to battle here for 6th. Cat takes a tight inside line. Somewhat compromised exit. But he should be able to get the run down the corner here. Can he do it? Peeks to the outside here. Like he thinks better of it. Kind of just fouls in behind. Type R takes a very defensive line through the chicane. And for another time being, holds on to 6th place. Coming back to the front, we see Doug holding the lead. He's got about a 1.5-second gap over Supra, who's got about something happened here. Hair Razor's moved in to 3rd. Tap has moved into 4th. Petrol is all the way down to 5th. That must have been a penalty or something like that. Or he really botched the exit of the final corner. That's enable Type R, then the MCAT to also close in on him for the time being. Question is, can they keep it up? Does everyone stay this close all race long? And does rain come persist again? I know some people are praying it rains again. Some people are hoping it doesn't. And we see the damn guy take the Elantra off-roading. Car is not built for that. Someone should tell the guy that. Alright, coming back to the front, we have Doug Barrow. He's still got the lead. He's building that lead over Superboy. Doug Barrow went and got that lead, and he is not looking back. Hair Razor's moved up into 3rd, and Tap has got Petrol all up in his rear view. Can Petrol make a move here? Coming to the chicane. Tap takes a solid line through, hop over the first curb. Skipping over the skippity-doo-dah over the second, and around it goes, and we see a car in the map sideways. It is the damn cat. That is not good. We don't want to see cars stricken on the side of the road like that. But he's got the car right at it going again. He's got a lot of ground to try to close in on the cars in front of him. Meanwhile, back at the front, Doug's got an increasing lead over Superboy. Hair Razor's still sitting here in 3rd. Tab is in 4th. Ooh, kind of went a little wide there off the exit, off the corner there. Take that curb just right. It's going to sling you straight into that wall. Metro nearly found that out earlier, and Tab did the same there. Coming to this set of corners, Petro really got the run through, and he goes wide and takes the Elantra off-roading. I think we need to remind these guys that these cars are not built to go off-roading like that. Going through the S's, Gap has formed a little bit between Tap and Petrol. Let's see, there's gap there. We see here Razor, Tap, and Petrol all in a tight line here. Suspect this can become a three-way battle here over the next few laps if they stop off-roading the cars, that is. Coming through the chicane. Nice little hop over the curb, hop over that curb. Petrol did the same thing. And ride that momentum all the way out to the edge of that curve, which is kind of ideal of what you want to be doing. And now we see, actually, Terraiser looks to be gaining on Superboy here, who is definitely losing touch to Doug Barrow in first. Almost caught the edge of that curb, and that, like I said earlier, that is a good way to find yourself getting thrown into the wall. This Type R here chilling in sixth. At the moment, he has got nothing to worry about. We have the Damn K here bringing up the rear. Long way to go. Can't even make up any ground. We'll check on him later. Meanwhile, Doug is cruising along here in front. Got a massive gap here to second place. Superboy, who's got a train of Tap and Terraiser behind him. You can see Doug up there, but this is now a three-way battle for second place, and Petrol ain't too far behind to make it where he can easily make it a four-way battle for second place. Big old hop over the curb. Tap looked like he was about to drive through Razor going into the sweeping corner here. Tap moves up into third place. Razor can easily respond if he gets the exit, and I think Razor might have gotten the exit he needed to be able to respond. He is looking up the inside of Tap now. Looks like he thought better of it and decided to pull back for the time being. That enables Tap to try to make a move on the inside of Supra. Going into turn one, and Petrol again going wide, and I don't think Petrol hit the wall that time, but I think he missed it by just a very small margin. Very, very small margin. Got a little bumpy bump there. Tap got into the side of Superboy and kind of shoved Superboy off. Tap seems to have yielded that position back, and it causes him to fall from second all the way to fourth. That gives Razor second place for the time being. Superboy down to third. Petrol is up to fourth. And now Tap has got to make his way through if he wants to get back to second place. Meanwhile, Type R, he's slowly starting to lose touch with this group ahead of him. But he's still got a good gap to the car behind him, so as long as he keeps chugging along, he should be good. And this guy doesn't seem to have quit yet, so hats off to that. Coming back to the front, though. Actually, let's come straight to this battle here. These battles, at the moment, it's two separate battles, but they're close enough that they can quickly become one. Two into one. Right now, Razor is trying to fend off Superboy. He's got a small gap to him at the moment. And we see Petrol going pretty defensive there. Oh, Petrol might have had a penalty there. And that just made it taking candy from a baby. Tap moves up to fourth very easily. Is now ready to close in on these two in front of him again. Tap's got his sights set on the podium. If Petrol's close enough where he can just easily get involved. Razor's starting to build a small gap over Superboy here, so this is about to become a battle for the bottom of the podium. See if Hair Razor is second. Superboy is here in third, but he's got Tap breathing down his neck at this point. Coming into the hairpin. Ooh. Superboy kind of got a bad exit out of the corners. That kind of had forced Tap here to choke up a little bit. Mitchell's here in fifth. Close enough to do something about it. Woo! Little smack into the curb there from Tap into Superboy. And Superboy launches himself over that curb, trying to get back alongside, and on the inside of Tap is just Superboy. Can Superboy get the exit? Looks like for the time being, the answer to that question is no. Tap for the time being holds on to third. Superboy is in fourth, and Petrol is right behind in fifth. Now, of course, these three battling is good news for Hair Razor, because that means he can just go right on off into the sunset by himself and just focus on catching Doug up here in first. That's Hair Razor's turn to take the Elantra off-roading. These guys need to realize this car is not built for that. This ain't the Group 3 Elantra. Actually, no, the Group B Hyundai is the Genesis. Not the Elantra. What am I thinking? By the way, these ain't rally cars. They ain't made to go off-road like that. Meanwhile, Tap goes up the inside of Hair Razor. And Superboy has got his hands full with petrol now. With 5 minutes to go. Anything can still happen with these four. Anyone could end up anywhere. Petrol's got the inside of Super at the moment. And nice clean overtake there by Petrol into fourth place. Now he's got to go defensive, and defensive he is. He did a little bit of a weave there, trying to break the slipstream. Superboy there, going into turn one. And Hair Razor's it's got a little bit of gap to Tap ahead of him. Petrol has got very little gap between Superboy behind him. Which means Petrol cannot completely focus on just gaining on Hair Razor, because he's got to worry about the now off-roading Superboy. That excursion should afford Petrol a little bit of breathing room to allow him to actually gain on Hair Razor. But he's got his lines right through here in order to do that, because Superboy's gonna have some dirty tires here for a little bit. Second, third, and fourth. Each one's got about a second between the car in front. Oh, Tap's got big gap to Doug. Going a little hop over the curb, straddle the second one. And smooth sailing out of the chicane. Same with Hair Razor. Superboy is the only one who seems to have got a little rough there. He's starting to fall back a little bit. If he gets a good exit out of this final corner, he can get a good run and close back in on Petrol ahead of him. Right now we got Doug here, and he's still got the lead. He's still got a good lead. With 2.5 minutes to go, is it big enough though to hold off Tap, who does seem to be gaining ground on it? He's got Tap's got Hair Razor not too far behind. Petrol's not far behind him. Superboy is not that far behind him. Then we have Type R chugging along here in 6th place. And the damn cat still giving it. You're in last place. I think this is going to be our little question here. Oh, we see Hair Razor and Petrol getting into it now. With 2 minutes to go. Petrol trying to make a move up the inside of Hair Razor, but he just could not make it stick. He might have had some wheel spin coming out of the hairpin, and that's going to cost you time every time. These front-wheel drive cars are very prone to wheel spin if you get on the throttle with too much lock, and that might have been what happened to Petrol there. Hair Razor taking a very defensive line through the chicane, keeps Petrol behind for the time being. This is going to be the over-under by Hair Razor here, looks like. Hair Razor's got the run across the line for the time being. Hair Razor is in third of the smallest of gaps. Petrol side by side with him, now pushing him through the end of turn 1 there. Now these two battle. This guy can still close enough where he can get involved. And we can go ahead and say we are on that final lap. We got Doug here, solid several second gap over Tap. This is where the action is. Hair Razor and Petrol. You can get out. This is the final lap. 30 seconds are left on the timer. This is the final lap. Going through this little S section here, almost side by side at one point. Hair Razor got the advantage there. Coming into the hairpin. Petrol actually got around him, but outbraked himself. Hair Razor gets the run through. Petrol's going to squeeze him as tight to the inside as he can. Gave him exactly the car's width on track. Aggressive but clean. Hop, skip, and jump over the sausages. Of course, we got to come up here and watch Doug take the win on race 2. Tap is going to take the win in race 3 and take second place. Hair Razor and it is close. Hair Razor and Petrol by a small margin. We have Type R still chugging in 6th. We saw Superboy finish in 5th. And this guy didn't quit. He kept going. And he's got himself a solid 6th place finish. And a good first race. And kind of a unfortunate spin for the damn cat in race 2. Took him out of it. But he did not give up. He kept going. And that brings us to the end of race 2 today. Doug Barrow takes the win and the fastest lap. Tap finishes in 2nd, 5 seconds behind. Hair Razor ultimately finished in 3rd with about, looks to be 9, well, actually not even 9, well, yep, just over, I'd say, 88, right under 9 hundredths of a second. Superboy a couple seconds behind in 5th, and then Type R and the damn cat rounding out the field. GG's to all the drivers. This was a fun race, a good race, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And here in, I think, about 2 weeks' time, we will have the next round of this, which will be at Trail Mountain. That's going to be a fun track with these cars, I think. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys then. Appreciate the likes, the shares, the follows. Helps our channels grow and helps us get us more content like this out there to you. I am the damn cat. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to catch y'all next time. Until then.